Hey there, y'all. Welcome to Honey and Earth Yoga. My name is Kenzie. I am a certified yoga teacher and a student of all things yoga. Today we are doing a faster paced Vinyasa style flow, and we are working on the peak pose, which is Bird of Paradise. Bird of Paradise is a pretty aggressive bind pose where you're not only binding, but you're also balancing and standing. So there's a lot going on, but the good news is that you don't need to already have your Bird of Paradise to do this flow. I'm going to offer options where you can steadily work on your flexibility, strength, and balance, and with practice, hopefully you can come into whatever expression of Bird of Paradise you are looking for. With that said, this flow is a little bit challenging, a little bit spicy in some areas, so while everyone of all levels is welcome to participate, I would recommend it for anyone who is intermediate or above. And because we're working on a binding pose, which involves a lot of stretching, I would highly recommend getting some kind of yoga strap for this practice. We're going to use it in our warm-up, and then if you don't currently have your Bird of Paradise yet, we're also going to use it for Bird of Paradise. So it's not mandatory, but it is highly recommended. So before we start our flow, let's come into a moment of stillness. Take a few breaths here. Connect to your breath here. The practice of yoga seems to be primarily physical, but it's actually has a lot to do with the mind. So with that said, as you connect with your breathing, I'd like to read just a few sutras from the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali. Take an inhale. Exhale. The mind's fluctuations are stilled through practice and acceptance. Inhale. Exhale. Practice is the effort to steady the mind. Inhale. Exhale. The mind easily becomes steady when practice is consistent, sustained, and sincere. Inhale. Exhale, let it all go. So we all go through fluctuations of the mind, but when we come into Bird of Paradise, we're invited to find stillness even amid such a challenging pose. One more inhale. Exhale. If your eyes are closed, I invite you to flutter them open. Let's take some intuitive movement here just for a second. Wake the body up if you haven't already. And to start our flow, we will meet on our backs. Oh, you will need your strap for this, by the way. All right, so Bird of Paradise is a pretty big hip opener, so we're going to focus on stretching our hips and legs for this first section. So inhale. Exhale, bring the feet up to face the ceiling for happy baby. Reach for the toes if you can. If it feels good, rock side to side. If you'd like more of a stretch, you can just try straightening each leg one at a time. Take a few more breaths here, your version of happy baby. Inhale, look up. Exhale, bring the feet slowly back to the mat. We're going to take some quick windshield wipers here with the hips. Windshield wipe those legs, massaging the sacrum. Remembering your breath here. Now, let's grab our straps. Some of them come with a loop already on them. Some of them require you to do a loop. I am infamously bad at tying loops on my straps, so I'm just going to use this one as is. You can use yours however works best for you. The ultimate goal is to bring the right leg up so the foot is facing the ceiling. Put the strap in the arch of the foot and get a good firm grip. Now, we are going to slowly, with control, pull on that strap to feel a stretch in the calf. If you're really bendy, you can try straightening the left leg on the ground. This is going to open up that hip, and it's also going to be a much tougher stretch on that right leg. It is humbling. So you can go with whichever version feels best for you right now. Stay here for 2 more breaths. Now on your exhale, we're going to take this right foot out to the side for a hip stretch. I want you to grab both sides of the strap with your right hand. You can also have it, both hands on this. Inhale. On your exhale, slowly wind that right leg out to the side, adjusting support wherever you see fit. The goal here is to feel a stretch in that right hip, but if your leg is down, your left leg, you may also feel a stretch in that left hip. You can play around with it, see about bringing it up higher versus lower. There's no right or wrong here, we're just stretching it out. Now let's do 2 more breaths here. On your exhale, slowly bring that leg back up. Inhale. Exhale, lower the right foot down. Do the same thing on the left side. Inhale, left leg comes up, foot faces the ceiling. On your exhale, loop that strap around the arch of the foot. Get a comfortable grip. We'll slowly pull that left foot towards us. You can stay here with the right foot on the mat, or you can lengthen it to have more of a stretch in that right hip. 2 more breaths here. Inhale. On your exhale, switch up the straps. Take that left foot out to the side for a hip stretch. Two more breaths here. Inhale, kick that left foot back up to the ceiling. And exhale, remove the strap. You can put your strap off to the side. We will need it later during our main flow, so keep it accessible. Now that our legs are nice and stretched out, we're going to target those hips. I want you to bring both of your feet to the mat. Tuck in the pelvis so that way you're nice and strong here. Inhale, lift the right knee up. Exhale, place that right ankle to your left knee for figure 4. You can stay here, or if you want more of a stretch, you can pick up that left foot, twist the arms around that thigh, and bring the knee to chest. Wherever you are, we'll stay there for 3 breaths. On your exhale, bring the left foot back to the mat. Uncross the ankle, both feet return to the mat. Inhale, cross that left ankle over the right knee. You can either stay here or on your exhale, lift the right foot off the mat, twisting the legs through the figure four, pulling that into your chest. 3 more breaths here. Inhale. On your exhale, bring both feet down to the mat. So later when we need to come into our bird of paradise, we're engaging a lot of muscles to lift ourselves up into that posture. So to that end, it means we need to do a little bit of core work to help us get into that pose. So inhale, exhale. On your inhale, I want you to bring your feet so they're facing the sky. Exhale. We're going to do some abdominal work here with crunches. I want you to bring your hands behind your head. Take another breath here. And come with me to do some crunches. 1, down, 2, down. We take them nice and slow. 3, down, 4, down, 5, down, 6, how are you doing? Down, 7, down, 8, down, 9, down, 1 more, 10, and down. You can release your feet to the mat. Maybe you windshield wiper the legs. We're going to do 1 more set of 10 here. All right. Exhale. Inhale, both feet come up. Exhale. And let's start again. Up, 1, down, 2, down, 3, down. Oh, I feel the burn. 4, down. Halfway there. 5, down. 6, down. 7, down. 8, down. 9, down. 1 more, and 10, down. Great job. Hug your knees into your chest, into a little yogi ball. Maybe you rock from side to side. Nice work. All right. Inhale. On your exhale, I want you to rock back and forth to come up to a comfortable seat. Whew, I feel warm now. Do you feel warm? Once you're in a comfortable seated position, we're going to come into some side body swoops to wake up the sides of our body. Inhale, hands lift. Exhale, plant the left hand and lean to the left with the right arm above. Inhale. Exhale, come back to center. Inhale, repeat on the other side. Exhale, come back to center. I want you to do this 2 more times on each side at your own pace. Take a minute here to finish up if you're still working on those side body swoops. When you're ready, we'll move on to our next posture. So next I want us to come into some seated Gomukhasana which is cow face pose. That's a mouthful. What I like about cow face pose is that it gives us a little bit of practice for some of the binds that we're going to come into with Bird of Paradise. So let's start with our legs. So this is aspirational. I know not everyone is ready for this. So what I want you to do is, if possible, start off in fire log pose. And that's where ideally the goal is to bring the right foot on top of the left knee and then right knee on top of the left foot. It's sort of like this preparation for lotus one day. So this is option one. This is a great hip opener. If you want more of a challenge, you can walk those feet in and see if you can layer the knees on top of each other. I recommend flexing the feet because that's going to keep the stretch in the parts of the body that we want to focus on. So this is cow face pose legs. So let's come into the arms. For that, we are going to grab our strap. So what I want you to do is put the strap in your left hand. We're going to reach up. And on our exhale, I want you to bring that left arm behind you. The right hand reaches around the back and grabs the strap. I'm going to turn around so you can see what that looks like. Okay. So this is what this looks like at this level. Now, for a deeper stretch, I can slowly work myself down the strap to get more of a stretch in the shoulders. So wherever you are, we're going to stay here for 3 breaths. On your exhale, slowly unwind out of this posture. We don't want to pop out of binds quickly, okay? So I'm going to untuck that right arm. I'm going to bring my left arm down. How'd you do? Hopefully not too uncomfortable. So now we're going to repeat that on the other side. So if you are still working on your flexibility, what we're going to do is we're going to come into a fire log pose with the left foot on top of the right knee. Left knee is on top of the right foot. So this is the starter pose. If this isn't accessible right now, you can always start a little bit further down. Wherever you're feeling sensation is okay by me. We just want to feel a stretch. So this is the starting place. Let's see if we can bring our knees on top of each other. You will probably notice that you are differently flexible on each side. That's certainly the case for me. So try to get the knees on top of each other for Gomukhasana. Flex the feet. And now we are going to come into this pose. So once again, we are grabbing our strap. Our right arm is going to be on top this time. So I'm going to kind of bring the strap behind me. I'm going to lift the right arm, bring it back behind me. My left arm is going to twist and grab the strap. So from behind, this is what this looks like. Checking my form on my feet. All right, so here is Gomukhasana with the straps. We can be far out this way, or we can be really close. Now, the goal is one day to not need the strap. Let's see, some days I need it, some days I don't. So let's just see where we are. So we inhale. And on our exhale, we see if we can connect the hands behind our back. You can see my fingertips are just barely touching. It's a bit rough on my left shoulder. So I will use the strap today. But if you can do this without the strap, go you. So wherever you are, we'll take 3 breaths in this stretch. Inhale. On your exhale, slowly unwind out of this posture and place your strap to the side. I feel all loosey-goosey. From here, let's transition into our tabletop position. All right. Take some intuitive movement here. Maybe you bend the hips from side to side. Do some circles with the spine. Maybe you just kind of rock back and forth. Whatever you need here. All right, let's come into a few cat-cows to reset. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, neutral spine, back into tabletop. So we are going to be doing a few side planks. I'm sorry, we're doing some side planks. So I want us to warm up our wrists just a little bit before coming into that. One of the tips that I like to give for side plank is that you don't have to put all the weight into the wrist. That's a recipe for injuring yourself. So whenever we come into these wrist exercises, I want you to practice using the fingertips. That's going to distribute the weight more evenly, and it's going to make these postures a lot more comfortable and hopefully protect your wrists while you're doing everything from a chaturanga to side planks. I'm sorry, not sorry. All right, so inhale. On your exhale, I want you to engage those fingertips and start taking some circles to the left. Nice and slow. Remembering to engage those fingertips. We're warming up the wrists. Circles can be as big or small as you like. And let's take it the other way. All right, find a place of stillness here. Now, let's come into beast pose, which is a type of hold that we can do to work our abs. So what I want you to do is tuck the toes and lift your knees about 2 inches off the ground. We're gonna hold. I want you to focus on your breathing here and engage the fingertips. Smile. Isn't it wonderful to be alive? Inhale. And on your exhale, press back into downward facing dog. Great job. Pedal it out just for a second here. All right, I want you to inhale, look forward. Exhale. Step the feet out to the side. We're gonna set up to come into our Malasana pose. So, from a side, it looks like this, okay? You can also, alternatively, use a block. This is, ooh. When you're in your 30s, everything starts popping when you do yoga. It's fantastic. All right, so this is what this looks like from the front. I'm gonna grab a block because that's gonna feel more comfortable for me today. Oh, all right, that feels good. But you are always free to take Malasana without a block if you are a badass. So today we are going to attempt a Malasana with an arm bind. So what that looks like is inhale. I want you to lift the right arm up, left elbow hugs into the left knee. You can stay here if this is enough sensation in your shoulders, or you can come into a bind. So for that, we're going to twist the left arm behind the left knee. Right hand is going to come behind the back, and see if you can grab around. Let's see. This is harder to do if you have a block. Let's see. Some days I can do it, and some days it's just not happening. So inhale. Exhale, come into your bind. There we go. Exhale, release. Arms come back to center. I'm going to turn around so you can see what the bind looks like on the right side. Okay, so we're in our Malasana squat. This time I want you to inhale, left arm lifts. You can stay here, or on your exhale, come into a bind. Whoops. This side isn't as flexible for me. Inhale. Exhale, come back to center. Inhale. On your exhale, I want you to press into a nice, easy ragdoll. Grab opposite elbows. Sway side to side. Shake the head, yes. Shake it no. Whatever feels best. Now, we're going to start warming up. We're going to do 2 sun salutation A's. That's it, I promise. Inhale. Exhale. Bring the feet in about hip width apart. Drop the hands down, come into forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, mountain pose. And exhale. All right, from mountain, we are going to come into only 2 sun salutation A's. I want you to inhale, hands come up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, take your chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, hop or step to meet your hands and your feet. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, extended mountain. And exhale, mountain. 1 breath here to reset. If you haven't already, I invite you to activate your Ujjayi pranayama at this time, where you inhale through the nose and exhale by closing the throat and lips. All right, inhale, extended mountain. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, chaturanga dandasana. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Now from here, I want you to come into a brief child's pose just to reset before we come into our flow. Once you've caught your breath, we will meet in downward facing dog to start our flow. All right, inhale, lift the right leg, 3-legged dog. Exhale, warrior 2. Challenge yourself a little bit today to try to sink into that warrior 2. Gaze goes to the right fingertips. Inhale, reach forward. Exhale, peaceful warrior. Tip that right hand back. Gaze goes to the sky. Inhale, back to warrior 2. Exhale, your version of extended side angle. Inhale. Exhale, triangle. Gaze goes to the ceiling if possible. Inhale. Exhale, big transition here. We're going to come into half moon. Bring that weight into the right foot. And look to the sky. Exhale. Another big transition here. Bring the left hand down to the mat. Drop that left foot for a brief low lunge. And transition onto the side for side plank. Inhale. On your exhale, we're going to come into wild thing. Bring that right foot behind you. Lift the hips. Gaze goes to the top of the mat. And exhale, flip it back over. The briefest of planks. Inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, come into a low lunge. Inhale, dragonfly twist, right arm reaches up. Exhale, come back into a half split, left leg in the back. Tuck those left toes. Take a minute here, feel the stretch in the right calf. Inhale, look to the top of the mat. Exhale, bring the weight into the right foot. We're gonna come into warrior three. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. On that exhale, drop the left foot, come back into a lunge, Skandasana, back of the mat. Oh, it's good to have a block here just in case. Inhale. Exhale, press yourself up into a wide facing forward fold. Catch your breath here for 2 rounds. If headstand is part of your practice, you are more than welcome to take it at this time. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, we're going to come into extended side angle. At this point, we're going to start workshopping Bird of Paradise. So, what I want you to do is grab your strap if you haven't already. So remember, this is a pretty extreme bind with a lot of pressure on the shoulders, and then you also have to balance while you're doing it. So the first thing we're going to do is come into this bind while we're still in extended side angle. So for that, I'm down here. I want to grab this with my top hand. I'm down like this. I'm going to reach through the leg, grab the strap here. I'm going to see how this feels on my shoulders. So the longer the length here, the more room you have in the shoulder. Okay, the shorter, the tighter the bind is going to be, but the closer you'll be to actually achieving a Bird of Paradise. So that is option 1. I recommend that if you haven't tried Bird of Paradise before. It's a great way to work on this bind. So if you don't have a strap, or if you feel confident in proceeding, here's what the next step up from that is going to be. So we're going to be in our extended side angle. We are going to reach the right leg underneath the right knee. I'm going to come around almost like I'm reaching for my glute. My left hand is going to come through and bind. So the next step here is to just hold this bind and feeling the sensation of squeezing that right leg with the right elbow. Whew, I'm going to let this go because that is a serious bind. So for starters, take 2 breaths. Work on either of those 2 options and see how you feel. And next we will try to progress into Bird of Paradise. So what does Bird of Paradise look like? When we're coming into this position, we're in extended side angle. We're going to come into that arm bind we just practiced. So some people are able to just jump into Bird of Paradise. I am not that kind of girl. I'm a little clumsy. So I like to just inch my feet in together. Okay. The great thing about this is we can take our time. There's no contest here. So I'm going to bring my feet in together, and only when I feel stable on my feet, I'm going to engage my glutes and my abs. Remember all those ab works we did earlier, the crunches? That is leading up to this very moment. So let's take an inhale. Exhale. On that inhale, I want you to come up on those toes. See how you feel. See if you can start engaging that left glute to lift yourself up. Maybe you come into standing. If you already have your Bird of Paradise, you can come here and see about extending the leg. Now the key here is, you see how I got out of Bird of Paradise? We get out of this very slowly. We don't want to come out of binds really quickly because that's how we pop or tear stuff, and we do not want that to happen. So let's put that together from our wide facing forward fold. So we're in our forward fold. Half lift, exhale, fold. Half lift, And on our exhale, come into extended side angle. Now here, come into your bind, or you can try coming into bird of paradise. Yogi's choice. Let's take 3 breaths here to practice wherever you are. As you can see, not every time is going to be a winner, and that's okay. Exhale, let's meet back in extended side angle wherever you were. Let it all go. Inhale. Exhale, take your chaturanga. Meet me back in downward facing dog. Okay, let's try this on the left side. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, warrior 2. Whoa. Try to sink deeper into that warrior. Inhale, reach forward. Exhale, peaceful warrior. Inhale. Exhale, warrior 2. Inhale. Extended side angle, exhale. Inhale. Exhale, triangle. Inhale. On your exhale, half moon. Exhale, plant the right and left foot. Come into side plank. I can't think right. Exhale, wild thing. Inhale. Exhale, plank. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, low lunge. Inhale, dragonfly twist. Exhale, half split. Tug those right toes. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, bring the weight into the left foot. Warrior 3. Inhale. Exhale, skandasana to the back of the mat. Inhale. Exhale, wide facing forward fold. Inhale. Exhale, let it all go. Inhale. On your exhale, come into extended side angle. Inhale. Now, on your exhale, come into your version of bird of paradise. So again, that is going to look like, all right, I'm in my extended side angle. I have the strap in my right hand. I'm going to come around and grab it with, whoa, there we go, my left arm. So I can, there we go. So you can feel a pretty good stretch in the shoulders here. You can also come into this bind if you feel comfortable there, okay? The next step is inching those feet in until you feel comfortable and attempting your bird of paradise. Take a few breaths here to experiment, see where you are. Always fine to come back to extended side angle. Inhale. Exhale, meet back in extended side angle if you haven't already. Inhale. Exhale, take your vinyasa flow, meet in child's pose. I want you to rest here, catch your breath, take a sip of water. We are going to do that flow again one more time on each side. After getting a sip of water, come back into child's pose.
Catch your breath here. Remember, the goal of this practice is to overcome the fluctuations of the mind, finding that place of stillness. Something to remember when we're coming into our bird of paradise. Inhale, look forward.
Exhale, press back up into downward facing dog. Pedal out the feet if that feels good. Shake the head. All right. Let's do this. This is a vinyasa, so we're trying for one breath, one movement. Inhale, lift that right leg. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reach forward. Exhale, peaceful warrior. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, extended side angle. Inhale, triangle. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, come into your half moon, ideally more gracefully than I did. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, side plank, left side down, right side up. Inhale. Exhale, wild thing. Inhale. Exhale, plank. Inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, come into low lunge. Inhale, dragonfly twist. Exhale, half split. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, warrior three. Inhale. Exhale, skandasana. Ooh. Ideally, again, more graceful than me. Inhale. Exhale, wide facing forward fold. Inhale. Exhale, it'll go. Take this minute to connect. Remember to find that place of stillness within you. And exhale, come into extended side angle. We're going to do 4 breaths here. You can do whatever version of Bird of Paradise that calls to you. One more round of breath, inhale. On your exhale, let's meet in side angle if you haven't already. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, chaturanga. Meet in downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reach forward. Exhale, peaceful warrior. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, extended side angle. Inhale. Exhale, triangle. Inhale. Exhale, come into half moon. Inhale. Exhale, side plank. Inhale. Exhale, wild thing. Inhale. Exhale, plank. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, low lunge. Inhale, dragonfly twist. Exhale, half split stretch. Last one. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, warrior three. Inhale. Exhale, skandasana. Inhale. Exhale, wide facing forward fold. Let it all go here for a few breaths. Remember, we're finding a place of stillness. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, extended side angle. Again, 4 to 5 more breaths to explore whatever bird of paradise version is calling to you today. Oh, doesn't always work out, and that's okay. 2 more breaths wherever you are. Inhale. Exhale, meet us back in extended side angle. Inhale. Exhale, chaturanga. We'll meet in child's pose. Hard parts over. Yeah. Take an inhale. Exhale. On your inhale, come into a tabletop for a gentle shoulder stretch, that's all. Inhale, lift the right arm up. Exhale, thread the needle, come onto that right shoulder. 3 breaths here. Inhale, lift the right arm up. Exhale, plant it back down. Inhale, left arm lifts. Exhale, thread the needle, come onto that left shoulder. 3 breaths here. Inhale, lift the left arm back up. Exhale, come back to tabletop. We'll come onto our backs. Swing the legs out in front of you. Slowly lower yourself down. Now, inhale, come into a yogi ball. On your exhale, I want you to squeeze, 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 squeeze. Inhale, let it go. Exhale. Inhale. On your exhale, yogi ball. One last time. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. And inhale, let it go. take your arms out to a T on either side. Inhale, lift the feet off the ground. Exhale, take the gaze to the left, knees go to the right for a side twist. Inhale, knees back to center. Exhale, twist, let knees drop to the left, gaze to the right. Inhale, knees come back to center. And on your exhale, I want you to end the practice with the last active pose that we started with. Come back into happy baby. Notice how it feels different now than it did at the start of the practice. How your body feels. Neither are good or bad. Just notice it. All right, it's the last active pose of our practice. You know what that means. Inhale. On your exhale, come into your favorite Shavasana pose. I will lead you out when it's time to emerge from our practice. I invite you to start bringing awareness back to the room, bringing movement back to the body, shaking the head, wiggling the fingers, petting a cat. Hi, buddy. This is my cat, Zap. He's fantastic. Get some movement. Windshield wiper the legs. Take a swallow at the throat. Wiggle fingers and toes and ankles and wrists. Maybe you take your version of a good morning stretch. That's nice. Roll onto your favorite side. Just for a second. Exhale, slowly come up to a seated position. Inhale, lift the hands up. Exhale, bring the hearts to hand center. I'm grateful for our time together. I'm proud of you for pushing the limits, trying something new, and I hope you're proud of yourself for that too. As always, I'm grateful for your time. I am grateful for the teachers, places that have brought this practice to us. Till next time.
Om Shanti.
Go in peace.